Ever really stop to think about what a sentence is? And I mean, forget all that stuff from grammar class for a second. Let's think bigger. I want you to picture yourself as an architect, and every single sentence you write, that's a structure you're building, piece by piece, to hold a specific idea. So today, we're looking at the architecture of thought itself.
Which brings us to the big question, right? How do you build those really powerful sentences? You know the ones. They're clear, they're strong, they make a real impact. It's not about just memorizing a bunch of rules, not at all. It's about understanding the design.
And that's our whole guiding idea here. It is all about the architecture. We're going to treat language like it's a construction project, and I promise by the end of this, you'll have the blueprints you need to build some incredible sentences. Okay, you ready? Let's lay the foundation. So every great building starts with quality materials, right? Well, in the world of sentences, our most basic core building blocks are called clauses. Seriously, think of these as the bricks, the beams, the absolute nuts and bolts you're going to use to construct your ideas.
So what in the world is a clause? It's actually super simple. It's just any group of words that has two things: a subject, so who or what is doing the thing, and a verb, which is the action itself. This is the smallest unit we can build with. You know, he runs, birds fly. Boom. Those are clauses.
Now we've got two main types of these building blocks. Over on the left, you see the independent clause. Think of this as a tiny, complete house. It contains a full thought and it can stand all by itself. But on the right, you've got the dependent clause. This is more like a garage or a porch. It's a crucial part of the building for sure, but it can't stand alone. It needs to be attached to that main house to make any sense.
Okay, so we've got our building blocks. Now it's time to look at the blueprints. And there are really three basic designs that every sentence architect, that's you, needs to master. We've got the simple, the compound, and the complex sentence. Each one builds a different kind of structure for a different kind of job.
First up, the simple sentence. This is your most basic blueprint. Think of it like a studio apartment. It's clean, it's direct, it's strong. It's built with just one of those independent clauses, and it delivers one single complete idea. No frills, no fuss. This is really the bedrock of clear communication.
And here's a perfect example. Naruto eats ramen. Subject, Naruto. Verb, eats. It's a complete thought. You can picture it instantly. The structure is solid, the message is crystal clear. Simple, right?
But here's where we can run into a common structural flaw. This is what happens when you try to cram two separate ideas into a blueprint that's only designed for one. Naruto eats ramen, he trains hard. It just feels clunky, doesn't it? That's because these two complete ideas are just kind of smashed together without any proper connection.
So how do we fix that? Well, we just need a different blueprint. Let's look at the compound sentence. This design is perfect for connecting two equally important, complete ideas. You're basically taking two of those little houses and putting them side by side, connecting them with a sturdy little bridge like and, but, or so.
And here it is in action. Sakura trains hard. That's a complete thought. A whole little house. She becomes stronger. That's another one. And see that comma in the word and? That's the bridge. It links these two independent structures into one balanced, awesome sentence.
This is why that little connector is so incredibly important. If you forget the comma and the conjunction, you get this. Sakura trains hard, she becomes stronger. This is what we call a run-on sentence. It's like those two houses are just fused together with no hallway in between. It's a structural failure.
All right, now for our most sophisticated blueprint, the complex sentence. This is the design you pull out when one idea is the main event and the other idea is there to explain the why or the how. You're taking your main house, your independent clause, and attaching a supporting piece, that dependent clause we talked about.
Check out this example. The main structure, the core idea is, he fights bravely. Solid. But why? The dependent clause, because he believes in justice, gives us that crucial context. See how it can't stand alone? But when you attach it to the main idea, it adds this incredible depth and meaning.
And this right here is where a ton of people trip up. If you just write that dependent part by itself, you get a sentence fragment. Because he believes in justice. It feels like it's missing something, doesn't it? It's like a staircase that just leads to nowhere. It needs to be attached to the main building to work.
Okay, we've got our three basic blueprints down. Now it's time for the fun part, the interior design. The windows, the furniture, all the details. These specialized dependent clauses, they add specific functions and decorations to our sentences, making them way richer and more interesting. So this chart breaks it down for us real quick.
A noun clause basically acts like a person, place, or thing. An adjective clause, that's your decorative flair. It describes a noun. And an adverb clause, that tells you the when, where, why, or how of an action. Each one has a very specific job to do to finish your sentence structure.
You know, a good architect is also a great building inspector. They know exactly what weaknesses to look for that could cause the whole thing to collapse. So let's do a little quality control and look at the two most common structural failures in writing.
We've seen this guy before, haven't we? The fragment. It's a piece of a sentence that's trying to pass itself off as a whole one. Remember, this is a dependent clause that's been left all alone. It's an unsupported part of the building, and it's just not stable.
And the fix is so simple. We just give that fragment the support it needs, we bolt it onto a main independent clause. Now, he fights bravely, provides that strong foundation, and the whole structure is complete, stable, and makes perfect sense.
And here's the other big one to watch out for, the run-on. This is what happens when you smash two complete structures, two independent clauses together without any kind of proper connection. It's messy, it's confusing, it's like a building with no doors between the rooms.
The fix, again, is all about installing the right connector. That little comma and a word like and acts as a perfect bridge between the two ideas. Now, you've got a stable, well-designed compound sentence where both parts have their space but are clearly and strongly linked.
So, there you have it, your very own architectural toolkit for building better sentences. Just remember, start with your core materials, those clauses. Then, pick the right blueprint for the job, simple, compound, or complex. Add those finishing touches with the specialized clauses, and always do a quality check for fragments and run-ons to keep your structures strong. You've got the materials, you've got the blueprints, you know what to look for during inspection. You are officially the architect of your own thoughts. So the only question left is, what are you going to build?